about the state of affairs in the judiciary and calling for action to address the shortcomings. The Law Society indicated that the trend of events in the judiciary is perturbing and would tarnish the image of the judiciary, which is a critical pillar of the state. The Law Society was about the delays to appoint a substantive Chief Justice, indicating that they intend to be the president over this matter and threatening to result in industrial action if no action is taken. Currently, Justice Stephen Kavuma is the acting Chief Justice and at the same time the Deputy Chief Justice, something that many lawyers and politicians continue to challenge. This state of quagmire resulted from the reappointment of Justice Benjamin Odoki as Chief Justice after he had attained the mandatory retirement age. Lawyers and politicians rejected his appointment even after the president had insisted that he is still capable of steering the judiciary. Now, the legal battles between the Kampala Lord Mayor Erias Kisawuzi and the Attorney General have also left the judiciary wounded, according to the Law Society. This society is in particular concerned about the failure to respect court orders and the name-calling of judicial officers. Night on Spectrum, look at the concerns of this Law Society and the possible actions within their powers that they can take to have the shortcomings addressed. We'll also put these same concerns to the judiciary to see if they agree with the picture being fronted by the Law Society, given the fact that both sides focus on ensuring that Ugandans receive justice. Our guest, Ms. Ruth Sabatindira, President of the Uganda Law Society. You're most welcome, Madam Sabatindira.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, listeners.
We also are joined on the line by His Worship Erias Kisawuzi, Spokesman for the Judiciary. You're most welcome, Your Worship Kisawuzi.
Thank you very much.
Ruth, can you characterize for us the state of the judiciary today?
Thank you, Edmund. Thank you, listeners. As we articulated in our statement on Monday, the state of the judiciary is rather worrying. And we, as the users of the court system, of the judicial system, we decided to come to the fore to share that with the nation so that we all appreciate what is at stake and all appreciate that the solutions that need to be implemented should be done so urgently. The state is that, one, we don't have a Chief Justice. It's well known now. We don't have a Deputy Chief Justice. It's well known. And even the acting Chief Justice and acting Deputy Chief Justice, who is one and the same, was irregularly appointed, so to speak. So that the legal effect of what he does, or the illegality of what he does, has a huge bearing on the functioning of the judiciary, which indeed is the one place where legalities should happen. But then we are seeing that the biggest illegality now in the nation is now taking place within the judiciary.
We'll talk about this illegal appointment that you say. But courts have been going on with no problem. Courts, court cases come, they are dispensed, the justice is dispensed. What's the problem? Why can't we just continue like that?
Well, that's a very good point, that the judicial officers that are holding forth, they are doing a commendable job. Because the Chief Justice, as the head of the Supreme Court, does not work alone. So the Chief Justice works with a team of Supreme Court justices. So the justices in the Supreme Court are holding forth, are working well, and hoping one day they will get a Chief Justice who is their leader at that level. The Court of Appeal is also holding forth, working, and hoping that they will get a leader who is the Deputy Chief Justice. The good thing, the High Court has a leader, the Principal Judge. The Chief Registrar is also working very well to see that the lower courts, the magistrates' courts, are also functioning well. But let's not forget the need for leadership within an institution. I've heard that there are arguments that the judiciary is working just fine. Why are we fretting over the fact that we don't have a CJ and a DCJ? But these are leadership issues and constitutional issues. Our constitution particularly spells out that the judiciary shall be headed by a Chief Justice, okay, who shall also be the head of the Supreme Court. So who is going to steer the judiciary, legally steer? Let's forget the actings that we have, but the legal power that is enshrined in the Constitution, we don't have that. And so we are held in an constitutional situation as a nation. Yes.
But there was a time when we didn't have a speaker. We didn't even have a parliament for 8 years almost. In the 70s, we didn't have a speaker and life went on. There was a time we didn't even have a president. We had a military commission. So we can go on without a justice.
But remember that under the 1995 constitution, we have aspirations as we, the people of Uganda. Remembering our turbulent past, we said these now are our aspirations. We want good governance, we want a functioning judiciary, and this is how it will function. It will deliver justice for all without discrimination, free and fair treatment by all justices. So those are our aspirations after 1995 by the provisions of the new constitution. Yes. We wrote it down. And you and me, under Article 2, we should, the constitution is the supreme law of the land. So we are all enjoined to uphold the constitution. Under Article 4, duties of a citizen. All citizens of this country should uphold the constitution among the other duties that are spelled out. Article 99 of the constitution requires the president, as he takes the oath of allegiance, to uphold and safeguard the provisions of this constitution. Yes.
We'll talk about that in more detail at some stage. Let's hear from Mr. Kisawuzi. Erias Kisawuzi, you're welcome once again. Talk to us about this situation. You want to take us back to the bad days. How can you operate without a head for a long time, such as this?
Well, the problem of the Law Society is there is a need for leadership. We have a leadership virtue, and I think it is the first of its own kind in the history of the judiciary, I think so. When we operate without a substantive chief justice and a substantive chief justice. But like it has said, the leadership requires there are constitutional obligations besides their dedication. There are functions which must be attended to by the substantive holder of offices, like the chief justice or the deputy justice. So it's not a question of having somebody hearing the position, but there are specific functions which must be attended to by the holder. So one way or the other, we need the chief justice and we need a deputy justice.
So why don't you have one now? Why don't you put an advert in the newspaper? 3 weeks later you have a CJ in office with his robes.
Well, this matter is in the public domain that you realize that when the arrangements have been made to appoint a chief justice, then the matter became challenged in the court, and it must be resolved.
You mean we can't get a CJ until that matter is out of court? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the matter is now in court and it must be resolved before we can have it.
But you can't quite say that. The president is supposed to give us a chief justice. He's using a technical issue to hold. Why doesn't he want the judiciary to function properly?
Well, I'm not the successor of the executive. That I think will be based on the executive to answer. But for us as the recipient, we need a chief justice. But what is happening is that the nominee was challenged in the constitutional court and at the town court. So the matter must be resolved one way or the other.
Well, but you should go to the president. You are in the judiciary. You're a senior official, so go to him and bank that thing. Tell him what to see you tomorrow. You'll get one.
No, but that one, we can't do that. For us, we have to use the legal rules that we have.
Take him to court.
We have to wait until the matter is resolved. And I think maybe that's when to give this for more appointment of the chief of justice.
Take him to court. Are you powerless to do anything?
No, we are not powerless as such. We did our time.
You're politically correct. You're only being politically correct.
The matter we got a hit by the constitutional petition. So we could not have a chief justice.
You're trying to be politically correct. You want to go home, you want to go to the office tomorrow and find your table where you left it.
Not really, Alpha.
It's about your job. You don't want to annoy the appointing authority.
Not annoying the appointing authority. You look at the circumstances as they are. Where the concern of the general, they have a legitimate, because the Law Society, they have a legitimate concern. And everybody would wish to have, every Ugandan would wish to have a chief justice. So, and the Ugandans also, they wish to have. So, the matter has not been resolved in the court. So, I think the area is settled in the court. The better for us.
Well, let's get back to Madam President of the UL. Yes. What kind of gap does this leave us with?
And I like the fact that His Worship has amplified the functions in real terms of the Chief Justice, as a leader. And when you break it down, as a family, that a family unit would need a mother, a father, a company needs an MD to steer, to lead the institution. Your radio here has a leadership in place. So likewise, we need leadership to, for example, deliver the Vision 2040 for the judiciary. Let's now speak a language that we all understand. Yeah. So, for example, the Chief Justice chairs the Rules Committee that has not even sat for a full year to deliberate and come up with rules that would govern how the judiciary is functioning. That has never happened since the Chief Justice retired. The Chief Justice ordinarily would also swear in judges. For example, if the president for any reason is out of the country, is very busy. We had a judge, Justice Kisawuzi, who was not sworn for 6 months. Litigants in Barra were suffering because the president was too busy to swear in the judge. He had not delegated to the vice president, and we didn't have a Chief Justice. Yet if we had a Chief Justice, the Chief Justice would have sworn in that judge, and justice would have been delivered 6 months prior to, yeah, exactly. So there are real concerns when people say that things are normal. They are not normal. They are real concerns in real times that must be addressed.
I mean, he says there's the court case, that's holding the president's hand. The president is a good man. He wants a Chief Justice in office, but he can't appoint one because it's a court case. What does that mean?
I think that is to really hide behind technicalities. If the president was committed to appointing a Chief Justice today, that case would collapse. There would be no need for that case. The Constitutional Court would just close that file because that issue would have been settled by the appointment of a Chief Justice. Yeah. So for me, that is to really hide behind technicalities, and those are some of the issues that we are going to raise with the president when we engage him, to say that it is not a legitimate reason for you to tell the nation that because there is this matter in the Constitutional Court and therefore you cannot appoint a Chief Justice. It is not a legitimate reason.
But the president gave you a Chief Justice and you rejected him.
Yeah, because that appointment...
He's done it before. He doesn't need another interview.
That appointment, we as a Uganda Law Society hold the view that is unconstitutional. We know that the Judicial Service Commission did not ever recommend Honorable Justice Benjamin Odoki as one of the candidates suitable for Chief Justice. He was recommended to serve, which he's doing now, as a Justice of the Supreme Court, okay, on a 2-year contract. And that is where it stopped.
Oh, he has a 2-year contract?
Yes, along with the...
2 years, he has deserved a virtue.
Yes.
And he can't be Chief Justice for those 2 years?
No, he cannot be. He's past 70. We find a direct conflict with the provisions of the Constitution that Honorable Justice Benjamin Odoki, once he attained the age of 70, he no longer qualified for Chief Justice.
That's a technical thing as well.
It is the law.
That is the law.
Yeah, it is the law.
But some of you people have been saying that the Deputy Chief Justice was acting Deputy Chief Justice, acting Chief Justice. I don't know where else he acts. That he was appointed illegally. What do you mean?
This is a scenario. When Honorable Chief Justice Benjamin Odoki was leaving office on the 24th of June,
yes,
he wrote a letter to Justice Stephen Kamma and said, please take care of the judiciary. That is no way, by any means, an appointment of an acting Chief Justice or an acting Deputy Chief Justice. That is not how those appointments are made. For example, an acting Deputy Chief Justice must be appointed by a substantive Chief Justice in consultation with the President. So, Justice Benjamin Odoki was no longer Chief Justice to even appoint an acting BCJ at that time, let alone that he did not have the powers anyway on the 24th of June.
He had left office.
He was no longer, he was an ordinary citizen. Remember, he was not yet even appointed as an honorable justice of the Supreme Court. So that is a scenario that the letter saying take care has now seems to have been taken as if it was an appointment.
So you say he was an ordinary citizen?
Yes.
So of that he wrote to Kavuma a certain letter. It just as well might have been me. I could have been the one because he was another citizen.
Yes.
It could have been a letter from me.
Yes. And that is what happened.
That sounds reasonable. Who exactly do you people want?
I think it would be unfair to sit here and say this is who we want. The Judicial Service Commission has the mandate to recommend suitable candidates to the President. It is not the mandate of the Uganda Law Society. No, not at all. But the Uganda Law Society has 2 members that we recommend to sit at the Judicial Service Commission to share our views with the Judicial Service Commission. Yes. So, and that's why we're saying let the constitutional provisions be respected. It is the Judicial Service Commission that recommends. It cannot even be the Law Society saying this is the one we are recommending. It is the Judicial Service Commission.
Talk to us about the procedure. How this man or woman is appointed normally?
Well, normally, again, the Judicial Service Commission will previously they never run adverts, but now out of, I think, best practices, they now run adverts saying we want to fill the following vacancies. So those who are interested to apply, they go through a vetting procedure, interviews and all that. They have their way of doing it. And then out of that they choose the best 3 or best 4 and then forward them to the...
Send them to
His Excellency the President, exactly, yeah. So the President then decides who he will appoint.
Well, listeners, this is Spectrum Radio, and tonight, what is the position of the Uganda Law Society on the state of affairs in the judiciary and the administration of justice? Our guest, Miss Ruth Sabatindira, President of the Uganda Law Society, and his Worship Erias Kisawuzi, Spokesman for the judiciary, on the line. Mr. Kisawuzi, talk to us about these gaps. We were using technicalities. Why don't you advise the President? He's supposed to act on this. You're not giving him the advice.
What kind of advice?
Well, tell him we need a Chief Justice like yesterday.
This is a matter which is the mandate of the Judicial Service Commission and the Executive. So the Judiciary has nothing to do with the appointment of Chief Justice or any judicial officer for that matter.
Was Kavuma appointed legally?
Those are some of the matters maybe which needed to be addressed in the court. But at the moment, he's acting as the Chief Justice.
Was he appointed properly or was he not? He was set at
no, it's not me to say that he was proper, because now he is the acting Chief Justice, the only that he appointed no authority. Finally, the son of the acting Chief Justice.
Who appointed?
So how can we say he's not acting?
Well, somebody could wake up tomorrow and say...
Someone appointed those are legal matters which we are addressing.
You have question marks on his appointment as well, don't you? But you want to
say whether he was legally or not legally is the acting Chief Justice.
Oh, it doesn't matter what the law says. What the procedures go.
No, it may matter once you are considering it substantially, but he is now holding the office of the acting Chief Justice.
I could walk to his office tomorrow and challenge him. I could tell him I'm Chief Justice. I could go waving a piece of paper. Because people are saying, because
you are free to do so. You are free to do so.
Mr. Kisawuzi, you are a lawyer of repute. You qualify to be a judge. Talk to us at that level.
No, what I'm saying is that Worship Kavuma is sitting in the office, is acting the office of the Chief Justice.
Whether it's...
As far as the appointment, if you want them to be challenged, but I'm saying is the de facto acting Chief Justice.
And de jure?
Huh?
Well, de facto, but de jure, is it there legally?
That is what means to say that it's there legally because they're in the acting, because the appointing authority always refers to as...
You're talking like a man from somewhere very far away from the capital. You can talk like that. You're a legal expert holding a public office.
I'm far away from the capital, as I told you, but one thing is...
No, I mean, you're talking like you're so far away from the lawyers.
Authority refers to him as the acting. The authority refers to the refers to the acting. Then can you also say he's not the acting?
Because the president says he's acting, he's acting.
Yes. If we say refers to him as acting, then who are you to check that he's not acting?
Who am I to say he's not acting? Did the president follow the law? Well, he's appointed Justice Odoki. Is Justice Odoki Chief Justice because the president said so?
No, Justice Odoki is
Justice of the Supreme Court.
Justice of the Supreme. Under the Constitution, the President can appoint somebody being a Chief Justice, and who has been a Justice to act as Justice of that court.
Do you think we need reforms in the way we fill these offices?
First, the say we need reforms, but that is what the Constitution says. The Constitution says that the President can appoint somebody who has been a Justice to act in that capacity as the judge.
Why can't he appoint a CG substantive? Why is he stuck with Odoki? He insists on him, but somehow he's not.
You need to say, because maybe that is for the executive, maybe you need to find out from the executive why he's taking that.
And for you, it's important that you stay politically correct. You don't annoy the appointing authority.
No, not really. As I said earlier on, we need somebody in stewardship of the. We need somebody to lead us, to give us the leadership today. We need like competition. We have parliament, we have the executive, they all have one. After we need a king, sometimes back. So we need the one to pretend the division. So there are such a number of matters which cannot be attended to because we don't have a substantive chief justice.
And you are embarrassed when you travel out of the country. They ask you these questions, and it's difficult to answer them.
No, it's embarrassing.
Come again?
And I didn't get that one.
I'm saying, does it not embarrass you when you meet your peers from other countries which are more organized in that area? Does it embarrass you when you have to explain, things like that?
Yeah, I do what I can explain the circumstances we are in our country, but we don't have a good justice. The matter is in the court, one way or the other, so we need to resolve this matter.
And the rest is, we leave it to the powers above.
What?
The rest, it belongs to the powers above. It's beyond you, and even though it's an abnormal situation, an embarrassing one.
What? I can't say, it's not very amusing, actually. The sort of thing is not amusing, because as I said, as any institution, there must be somebody
to provide leadership.
to give it the leadership, and we as a we are missing the leader.
Let's take a break. This is Spectrum. This is Spectrum. We'll be back after this break. Stay tuned.
This is a warning from Uganda Meditates. All the germs in this house, gather around this radio and listen well, because I will only say this once. You germs, I have seen how miserable you make the lives of our children. You take away their health and happiness. You make them too sick to play or learn. You make them get injections. I am Uganda Meditates, and I am here to tell you that when I come into this family, you will be over. I will cover their skin with a double layer of protection that will destroy you. I will break your eyes and remove your energy. I will make you pay.
You have heard it straight from Kabode. Meditex for no-nonsense protection against germs by Meditex for your family.
Hey, Miss Namia, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Isn't there Ruhanga is here? Mr. Okon.
Oh, Auntie,
I'm so happy to see all of you. Come in. You're very welcome.
Just like Stella warmly welcomes you to her house at Finance Trust, we have always been your trusted financial institution. You have grown, and we've grown too. And now that we have become a commercial bank, our doors are open for you to grow even further. Come and enjoy fast, convenient, and accessible banking services. Welcome to Finance Trust Bank. Finance Trust Bank, putting women first.
Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90.
Welcome back on Spectrum tonight. What is the position of the Uganda Law Society in the state of affairs in the judiciary and the administration of justice? Our guest, Ms. Ruth Sabatindira, President of the Uganda Law Society, and his Worship Erias Kisawuzi, Spokesman of the Judiciary, on the line from Jinja. You will be able to call in as well later. Ruth, talk to us about you people at the units. What can you do? The President has said no. What can you people do? You can only sit in your offices and twiddle your thumbs.
as we said in our statement that we shall roll out a series of actions, but the most important that we are going to start with is to really engage His Excellency the President, because we over the last 1 year we thought that these things were obvious to the President, and that we just thought it was obvious, but maybe it is not. But maybe it's not as obvious, and maybe we need to align our thinking with him and sit down and show him where we are coming from. So that is the first point of action we are doing. We did agree with our members. We are going to get as many signatures to the petition to His Excellency, and then seek a meeting, maybe a meeting or two, and see if we can align our thinking and be on the same page, and then say that we have agreed now he's going to appoint a Chief Justice and the Deputy Chief Justice. Now, if we don't succeed, I do believe we shall succeed. But
You've asked for an appointment.
Yeah, yes, we've asked for an appointment.
And giving an ultimatum.
We have said that if we don't succeed, we will have to put down our tools as a sign of discontent.
Oh, what will happen on that day? You walk the streets with a brand,
we will not use the courts for 1 week. We will not use
1 week, no courts?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It is a sign of displeasure to show that we have done everything within our power. Remember, we would have met with him. He has refused to appoint, and really as a last resort, where it's a Gwanga Muje way of saying, you people, the nation, we have run out of options. Please hear us, and actually we'll be calling on the nation to support our effort. That this is the last point now. We have no other option. But as I sit here, I do believe that. I hope and pray that we actually don't get there. That's why we want to use the next... Yes, and engage and take it off and say, we did everything within our power as the new LS. We did not sit back. We did everything within our power. That's what we want to do.
But this man is a freedom fighter. He might not even notice people out of court. You can't scare him with things like that, can you?
We actually are not scaring, but we are saying this is a national issue. This is a constitutional matter. It's not a small issue to be laughed about. So we want to give it the due attention it deserves. We have a feeling it has not been discussed whenever a national agenda is up for discussion. We have a feeling it has been put down the list of the items on the national agenda. So we want to bring it back and draw as much attention to this issue, because that is the attention it deserves.
Mr. Kisawuzi, talk to us. You people are in trouble. People are going to stay at home for a week. What will you do? 1 week. Hello? These people are going to stay away for 1 week. I'm giving you information. What are you people going to do? You are in trouble.
Well, we handle the matter as they unfold, and they have not engaged us, and the moment it happens, I think we shall handle the crisis as it happens.
What will you do? Get lawyers?
Well, I can't tell at the moment what exactly we are, because it's still speculative. We don't know what exactly, whether the line of action we are emphasized by the President, whether they will use, because they may change the course depending on what comes out. But be as it may, once actually they decide to take industrial action, then as the courts we shall use the necessary administrative powers we have, and maybe the legal powers we have, and maybe to do the needful.
What is the needful? You could get some expatriate lawyers overnight.
No, not really. We of course, one of the things to adjourn cases that is settlement.
Come again?
The lawyers are not there, but of course we shall not close the office.
You'll sit there and take your tea from sunrise to sunset.
No, not really, because not all cases are represented by lawyers.
So it will be a good time for you. You look forward to it.
No, not all cases are represented. So they are still, even if we decide we have other duties we have to, we attend to.
So you wish they could do it more often? You wish they could do it more often, so you can have time to go and deal with other things.
Come again?
You wish they could do it more often because it's a blessing in disguise, you can do other things.
No, it can't be certain. It's not a blessing. It's not a laughing matter. It's not a laughing matter, because we are all actors in the administration his or her role, then certainly it affects the administration of justice.
And of course, it's a dilemma for you. They're not gathering somewhere where you can, attack them. So they're at home. You can attack them in their homes. So it's a big dilemma for you.
I think certainly it is their line of action. We are not parties to their line. They haven't engaged us. But once actually it affects us, then we shall see what we can do in the circumstances.
It's a dilemma. I mean, if they can gather under a tree, you can go and talk. If they're at home, you can't do much. You can't even talk to us about the respect for court. Madam President of the Law Society, do you claim government doesn't respect courts? What do you know? I talk about black mamba. It happened only once. They repented. They'll never do it.
No, the call for respect for court orders was not made to only government or police or RDCs. This call was made to all citizens, because we see even private parties out there are served with court orders and they disregard them. Yes. So this was a call to all citizens that disregard court orders, because we are saying that once we disregard what the courts are saying, and yet that is where we run to for dispute resolution, for us to maintain peace and harmony within our communities, then that harmony will go away. We will have violence. We'll have people taking the law in their hands. So it's a call for people
taking the law in their hands.
Yes. Yeah, because they won't be respecting orders.
When government stops respecting the court orders, people can take the law in their hands.
Of course. Let me tell you, as a leader, what are you emulating? And then where do you get the moral authority then to talk to citizens about respect for the rule of law, respect for the constitution, respect or maintaining law and order in simple terms? Now police released a crime report yesterday or the other day. Yes. That is indicative of where things stand. Maybe citizens are saying, you don't have the moral authority to talk to me about the law, because the other day you were not respecting the court order. So we want to see that citizens respect court orders, government, citizens, all players, including lawyers, by the way, including our own members, all players to respect court orders, so that we have harmony within our community, so that we are able to resolve our disputes amicably if we can, and if we can't, we should be able to know that when we go to the courts, we can lose or we can win, and be good with that. Us as lawyers, actually, we are supposed to be telling our clients that, by the way, when we go to court, you may lose, you may win, and counsel our clients that when you lose, do not go on an FM and attack a judge. That is what it means. But we've seen some politicians on FMs attacking judges for the decisions they make. We are calling on everyone, politicians, lawyers, communities. Let's respect court orders. That is the one place we all go to resolve our issues. So if we don't, then anarchy. Yeah, anarchy.
So you're saying it's extremely important for the state to respect court orders?
Yes.
What is the time we did have a chief justice? The man was taken out of his court, and we never saw him again. Eventually we named a road after him. But so you think it's a very bad thing? When those kind of things show up, it shows there's anarchy coming. But we don't respect the courts.
Yeah. We just need to respect the courts.
Mr. Kisawuzi, give us your own assessment of the judiciary today. How does it stand in your own assessment? And remember, you'll be a lawyer for a long time from now. Talk to us in passion.
Well, the judiciary, as far as we are concerned, we are trying our level best to deal with the case backlog there, and certainly the numbers are being increased, particularly the High Court, and we still have some gaps, but still we are trying our level best actually to do what we can to deal with the backlog. But of course, the cases increase every day cases keep on piling on our industries.
What is the nature of our image abroad? How do other people look at us? We don't have a CJ. We don't have a DCJ for 4 years almost.
Well, it's not very interesting that we don't have a chief justice and a deputy chief justice starting holders of those offices, and of course some of some conferences, some people these issues keep on coming, particularly when they keep on inquiring what is happening in countries that is Uganda. So it's not very, we are just claiming that something is done to address this concern.
And what do you do about government officials who don't respect court orders, including RDCs in the villages?
Of course, constitutionally, every arm of state should be facilitate the judiciary to implement the decision. But often we get some officials and the government agencies not respecting court orders, which is not very good for the rule of law and the constitution in this country. So it is the duty of every organ of government and the public to assist. Because we don't have an army, we don't have police, so we rely on the police from the executive, we rely on other security agencies to implement our court orders. So it is incumbent upon every arm of the state to assist the judiciary in fulfilling its mandate.
Let's talk about the Lord Mayor right here in the capital city. Did the state respect court orders in that case?
Come again?
Well, the case of the Lord Mayor, some people think it has left egg on your face. The judiciary is looking very, very weak and bad. Because of, did the executive respect court orders in that instance?
The matter is now in the Supreme Court. The merits and the demerits are going to be considered by the Supreme Court. And I think that's what I can say at the moment. But any court order, any court must, whether you have to respect it. So any court order is given out by court.
There was a court order which arrived on a border, and they refused to listen. They even refused to read it because they brought it on a border with dust and other things. And Madam Sabatindira, talk to us about the kind of reforms that would be desirable in improving the judiciary.
The kind of reforms, maybe not typical reforms, but probably addressing the current challenges.
Yes.
And we've sung over this for many times. The first one is the fact that there is inadequate court funding. We've time and again said, can the judiciary, can we ring-fence the funds that are coming to the judiciary, and then have the judiciary manage its own funding, its own recruitment. That's why we are pushing for the enactment of the Justice Administration Bill Act, so that we indeed deliver a true independent judiciary that takes care of its own affairs through a judicial council, managing its recruitment, take out their employees out of the public service, and then let them recruit for themselves, because they can train them, keep them, and reprimand them, instead of the public service having to recruit for them and then take them around, through Ministry of Education, then back to judiciary. By the time they're back to Ministry of Education, I'm giving an example that this is a public servant, they bring for you that now this is your clerk, but this person has been maybe a clerk in the Ministry of Education. Yeah, with no clue whatsoever how the judiciary functions. So that disturbs the efficiency and the
can't fire them.
Exactly. Well, once you're unhappy with them, public service will take them away, and then they give you another, maybe now from Ministry of Internal Affairs. So those are the issues that
from Jinja.
Exactly. So those are the issues. We need to enact that law that delivers a true independent and judiciary, and deliver separation of powers, in its true form. Because now, as it is, the judiciary will have to queue within the Ministry of Justice for all these things, for its funding, for its management. It's not a good place.
It makes you beholden to the
exactly. Yeah. So for us, we need to ring-fence the funding of the judiciary, the recruitment, through the Justice Administration Bill.
So you are semi-autonomous like this, the legislature.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Parliament has a parliamentary commission. They take care of their business as Parliament. Let's do that for the
judiciary. Department of the state. You can't check a state like that.
And that is what we are saying. We are saying that as we are now, the judiciary has been now relegated to a department, other than an arm of government. So these are the matters we're bringing to the fore and saying, can they be addressed, so that the judiciary indeed is an independent arm of government.
They could say we don't have money to buy vehicles for you, and you go knocking on doors and pleading. They can really make you beg. They can make you weak as a result.
That is a possibility, but we know that when we put our heads to find solutions to the problems we have, we will get those solutions. It is just a matter of commitment, and then seeing that we must deliver the solutions.
From the listeners, this is Spokesman Radio. Our number is 0414-348-111, 0312-260-390, 0312-261-390. calling, please tell us where you're calling from, also besides your name. Spectrum, hello.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Christopher.
Good evening, your name?
I'm called Mr. Jinja. Second Spokesman, the lady, the chairman of the Law Society, and
President
of the Judiciary. But however, I want to disagree that, madam, when it comes to this claim, they should not blame on the other side. Even look at the lawyers, look at Mr. Karamoji, what happened in the High Court when she was attacking the answer.
we really would like to hear. If you can call back Mr. Sadiga, please do, so you can complete that contribution. Spectrum, hello? 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 Okay. Let's get another call. Spectrum, hello?
Good evening.
Good evening, your name?
My name is Isaac.
Isaac, yes.
Yeah, actually, I thank the presentation of the President of the Uganda Law Society. However, my important note is about your worship. The parallel protocol is being to very clear and condemn the current protocol of for him to come and necessarily failing, just like identify the problem, if he puts me in a very funny position. If I'm not someone, I would say that your worship has actually becoming incompetent. Because there is a vacuum, there is a problem, the way the judiciary is functioning, the way my Lord, Honorable Justice Kabuma, the way he conducts business, it shows that we have a problem in the judiciary. And therefore, the spokesperson of the judiciary must be able to come out and tell the public that we have a problem here and let the executive handle the matter. Rather than just keeping quiet and beginning dancing with the room, yet the room is escalating to the art. Thank you.
Spectrum, hello?
Hello?
Yes, your name?
Yes? I'm called Stephen. Is this Spectrum?
Yes, this is Spectrum. Stephen, you're welcome.
Thank you. My question is to Erias Kisawuzi. I want to know if the judiciary is the one who settles the cases. Why don't they settle the case involving the Chief Justice and they listen to it and they determine it rather than having the Law Society first having to plead in order to have that case heard. Let's have the case heard, disposed, and then we move on to the next issue.
Spectrum, hello? Hello?
Yes, anyway.
Yes, your name?
Settle that in the name and
Yes.
with the madam. Why they displaying double standards when it comes to the lawyers, the way they behave. Look at Mr. Karamoji, the way he was behaving at the High Court and come out from them. And another issue, you write that the President had the President has not refused. He has put an acting Chief Justice. And you remember the situation, how Justice went out and the other madam died, the President Justice. So you should give the President time to get an incompetent person to take the Chief Justice seat. Thank you.
Was trying to rectify. Okay. On the attack by Karamagi on the Attorney General and the new law, I've already given actually the Law Society stand that we do not condone an attack like that. And we articulated already that he is not a member of the Uganda Law Society. He has actually never done his LDC. I think he's just graduated from his LLB, and maybe he had gone through our legal ethics training at the LDC. Maybe he would not
have grabbed the ordinance.
Maybe he would not have done it.
He asked for it, and the AG seemed to give it before he walked away.
I don't want to get into the details of that. I know that as I sat behind there, I told everyone in the tent that I doubt that this is an advocate. And then it turned out that I was right, because when you're an advocate, that is not how we settle our issues. We don't.
You don't pick a man's
we disagree respectfully. We disagree respectfully. So that we don't condone. There is no double standards on that. In fact, I recently gave a speech to the LBC graduates. I told them, do not ever find yourself in such a situation. Do not ever find yourself insulting judicial officers. Do not ever find yourself attacking another lawyer just because you define your opinion. So it's true. I do agree that there are legal etiquette issues and legal ethics issues within our members, and we are working on that. And from that point, I appreciate where the caller is coming from, and we are working on that. Yes.
So you won't tell him go and take that fish again. Let's talk about, this is really for Mr. Sound. Your Worship, talk to us, Mr. Your Worship.
Well, in as far as the matter of the share of the matter is concerned, the judiciary is working on that, and as I speak, the proceedings have been typed and certified, and they are ready for it. And I think that is one step which the appellants have to pursue in order to have the matter for hearing in the Supreme Court. Otherwise, everything is now ready for the matter to be attended to the Supreme Court once those proceedings are brought to the Supreme Court.
But you're taking your time. Do you have an interest in delaying that case?
Not really as such. We don't have an interest in that one.
Is the file still with you, or has it flown through the window? You can't find it.
Not really. That was and the papers and all the reports and sure, and the options of appeal, the rest of appeal, the certificate, everything is in order.
So you and you'll work on it.
Yeah, certainly we are going to work on it once the proceedings are brought to the Supreme Court.
So in the next 2 years we'll have a case ruling?
No, not really. It will not take in the next 2 years, not even a year.
Not even 1 year?
Not even 1 year.
Well, but Isaac complains. He says you really haven't even condemned this vacuum. It's like you really are more interested in your own position. It's just, keeping it in the good books of the appointers.
The what?
You're not condemning this vacuum. It's like, for you, there's no problem, provided you check your bank account and the money is there.
Of course, when we speak sometimes, people don't hear us. But we are always advanced this, and at the option time, we are always effective. If you don't, so what else want the judiciary to do? You want them to go on?
You want them to go to what? Go on strike?
Yeah, of course.
Well, your line is breaking towards the end. Maybe you're driving through a difficult area. Talk to us, Madam President. What is the long-term impact if we don't have a deputy chief justice and a chief justice? What happens if for the next 2 years we don't have those two positions?
What happens is that you see a slackened, let's say, drive in terms of what the judiciary can accomplish. For example, I'll give you the example of we're trying to draft plea bargaining regulations. These regulations are supposed to help in the decongestion program for prisons. This is just a small example. And there we will have prisoners admitting to offenses, and then they get lesser sentences. Now, once we are done with all that, we will need a chief justice to endorse, to sign, to give them the legal power. Now, that cannot happen. So are we going to decongest the prisons the way we want to? No.
Build bigger ones instead.
Yeah, so that is just, for example, one of the things. So, and there are many other examples. For example, I know that the senior management of the judiciary has also not met for a full year. That senior management comprises of the chief justice, principal judge, and the chief registrar. On a monthly, they are supposed to track the progress of the courts. Who is not working? Who is not turning up? How do we change here? You see what I mean?
For 12, they have this 12 meeting.
Yeah, because the meeting can't take...
But for 1 year they can't.
Yeah. Though you have your staff meetings, that meeting is not taking place.
So things are bad. It's a crisis.
It is bad. It is bad.
So apart from this, what else can we do to clean up the judiciary? You say we need more money in there.
We need more money, but also we need more judges. I know that the initial thinking was 80 judges, but we need about 120 judges.
How many do you have
to take care of backlog? We have 60, but we need to double.
That's not bad.
Yes. Recently, the principal judge shared that the backlog will not be done away with in our lifetime if we have 60 judges.
Oh, in 60?
Yeah.
If we have 60 judges?
Yes. The backlog will not go away.
We'll all,
Yeah, we'll all go, and then it will stay.
So 40 years, then
Yes,
people will
yes. So we need to multiply the number of judges.
We have to go. Thank you very much indeed, our guest tonight, Madam Ruth Sabatindira, President of the Uganda Law Society. Thank you for coming to Spectrum tonight. And your worship, Erias, the spokesman of the Judiciary, on the line from somewhere else. Thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Edmund. To Spectrum, we'll be back tomorrow. Right now, it's time to share the news in English.
Spend your Easter in the wild. Uganda Wildlife Authority welcomes you to visit our magnificent national parks and enjoy the fascinating range of activities. Game drives,